Hi everyone, Matt Goldich from the Sorry I've Been So Busy podcast here. No new episode this week. Instead, we're rerunning one of our very first episodes with the hilarious Amber Ruffin. You've probably seen Amber as a performer on Late Night with Seth Meyers, doing Amber Says What, or Joke Seth Can't Tell. She's also a writer for the show, and she's really, really funny and one of my good friends. So please enjoy this episode. We'll be back with new episodes of the show soon, hopefully. Myself, Andrew, and producer Alex, and please go back and listen to the archives and check out some of our other old episodes. And if you enjoy the podcast, rate and review us on iTunes. We really appreciate it. Stay busy, everybody.
Until I met my new best friend, all of my boys say I'm tripping. When they call, I'm not answering. They always get my voicemail.
Are we? Are we officially rolling Alex? Are we rolling Alex? Okay, that is our...
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
What is... See? Already, laughter. That's fine. I'm fine with the laughter.
That was our quickest laugh.
That was our quickest guest laugh. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sorry I've Been So Busy. I'm here with Andrew Goldstein, my co-host, saying hello. I'm Matt Goldich, your co-host. And this is the podcast where we talk to people and find out what they've been busy with, whether they've actually been busy, whether they've been pretending to be busy and just making it up. And we thank you for all of your
thank you to all the busybodies.
The busybodies out there, the fans of the podcast. Do you have a busybody? Oh, you know, I did get one mention that I should mention. On a previous episode, I got to check my phone, but we mentioned...
While Matt checks his phone, you can find us on iTunes?
Yes, find us on iTunes and anywhere else. Is there anywhere else, Alex, that people can find us that I'm missing? Libsyn? Yeah.
Is that a thing you can go to?
I don't even know if that's a thing.
But you can follow at Showbiz Studios on Twitter.
For sure.
Then there's a whole family of podcasts that are really, really tremendous. Leah McEnany has one. David Feldman, the legend.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to mention on a previous episode. I had you had been talking about your back problems.
It's a neck
problem. Excuse me. And I mentioned my brother, Mitch, who had a good chiropractor that he went to, who took him out to his car. And saw how he drove to see how his and so I said, you're mentioned briefly on this podcast, and when I told him, he wrote back. He said, "Shout out to Dr. Howell."
Hey,
so
Dr.
Howell is the name of his doctor, who I believe is in Richmond, Virginia. If you need a good back doctor or a good chiropractor in Richmond, Virginia, Dr. Howell.
And that reminds me, if we're shouting out busybodies, my dentist, Dr. Jesse Shafson, the brother, he's a very good friend of mine. Now he's a dentist, and he's my dentist in Philly. Mm-hmm. Dr. Jesse Shafson is an avid listener of Sorry I've Been So Busy, and I'm hoping he plays it in the office while he's working on patients.
You mentioned that he plays it. You think he plays it in the office? You're assuming he does.
I'm assuming he plays it.
You've not heard
because I've been in his office and he has a whole radio system. He plays it. He plays things for his patients.
But
I think we would be the perfect podcast to play while you're getting a cavity filled.
We're pretty tame. I think you could, but I mean, you don't want to get in a situation where we're talking about something.
So for all your dental care needs, Dr. Jesse Shafson,
this is such a
Progressive Dentistry in Northeast Philadelphia.
This is such a Jewish podcast. We just shout out doctors around the country. And my husband mentioned my accountant. No, this is.
If you know any podiatrists that are busy, let us know.
Yeah, but we appreciate all the Sorry I've Been So Busy. Please, subscribe and review it, and
subscribe is the big thing.
Subscribe's the big thing,
and then it just shows up in your podcast app on your phone, and we're there. We're
usually Wednesday mornings. Well,
here's the thing.
You have I understand you have a sequel. No.
I have a follow-up. No, not episode 1.
No, it was the...
Episode 3.
Yeah, with
Marion Garvey.
Yeah.
I told a story about my apartment getting duty watered.
Yes. Why don't you explain for our new listeners
real quick synopsis
what duty watered means.
My dog was making some amount of noise, and a neighbor put a sign on our door, please stop. It's enough already. Mm-hmm. And there was a puddle of... slightly dutied water at the foot of our door when I got home as sort of a
A mysterious brown liquid that you somehow identified as like...
Yeah, we were vandalized, and we were vandalized with duty water, and our doormen were well aware of this, and they were like, we know who it is, but we don't want to tell you because we don't want to create an incident. We don't want to make things awkward, but we're trying really hard to catch this guy in the act so we can get him out of the building.
If I recall, it was like a man who wears like a leather blazer.
That's the perfect transition because
that was the main suspect.
Yes,
the last point you had told the story.
Thank you. The update to the story is it's not him.
I
think it's I
I
have reason to believe it is not him, and here's why.
Right.
I come home, very rare for me, Tuesday, I came home at a nice time, at like 5 o'clock, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm a morning gym guy. I rarely go after work. It's very hard. You work all day. But I was like, I'm going to do it. And so I got ready to go to the gym. I go, I do my thing. I come on my way back. I get out of the elevator, and I'm, making the turn out of the elevator to go into the little hallway where my apartment is. And I hear somebody go, hey, hey, hey. So I turn around, and it's the guy who wears the leather blazers.
Is he wearing a leather blazer at the time?
No, he looks like Gary Oldman.
Sure, okay.
He's Gary Oldman-esque, and he wears leather blazers, and I don't trust anyone who wears a leather blazer.
No,
nobody wearing a leather blazer is doing anything productive in society.
Yes, I agree, yeah.
So, but he was not wearing a leather blazer. He was in regular clothes. He rushes up to me, and he says, my key is stuck in the door. I can't get in my apartment. Do you have a pair of pliers? So I say, yeah, sure, hold on. Of course, now there's a stranger at my door, so the second I open my door, my dog is going crazy. And I'm just like, Dusty, no, this is the duty water guy.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking this is the duty water guy, and Dusty's barking, so I'm thinking he's going to,
So you wait, I just want to say, you're really going over and above to maintain like a friendly civil relationship with the guy who you at this point still think is the duty water guy.
But at the end of the day,
you're helping.
I don't know for sure. So this guy is calling out to me. He's frantic. He needs help. I'm a citizen. We live in the same on the same floor.
Okay. You're taking the high road.
What am I going to say? No.
Yeah.
Of course I have a pair of pliers or a wrench. So I open the door. Dusty's barking at him. I'm nervous because I'm like, this is what started the whole thing. So anyway, I get my tools.
Yeah.
And I basically just open the thing. I keep them in like a plastic thing, and I say, take whatever you want. What do you think? And so he takes a wrench and he goes down and starts doing his thing. And he's like, I'll bring it right back. And it was kind of a while. And I was like, I wanted to get in the shower, but I didn't want him to come back, and then I can't answer the door. So I'm just waiting around. It's taking him a while. So then I walk back down there, and he's with the doorman, and they're trying to get the key out of the door. And I start helping. And then finally, we get the door open. We get the key out. We get the door open. He's very thankful. He's very polite. He shakes my hand and thank you so much. He gives me the wrench back. And now I'm led to believe he's not the duty water guy.
So because he's nice and helpful, you think? And had you ever had a conversation with him before?
Not really.
Was your suspicion of him based only on the leather blazer, or was there
my
other...
suspicion of him is based on he's a very lurky type guy. Like he's you see him at weird hours, coming in and out. He wears a leather blazer, which is not trustworthy.
For some reason, I thought there was another hint. So now, but now, or unless he's really just trying to throw you off the proverbial scent.
He's in like the elevator, he'll say weird things.
Yeah.
He just seems like that guy in the building who's a little more shifty than everyone else.
Because I'm
profiling him clearly.
Right, yeah. But you have no other suspects.
Now I have Jamie as a suspect, but I don't. But I was firmly in the camp of it's the leather blazer guy on our floor. And now that we had this like interaction where like I helped him and he was thankful and he got,
unless he like duty watered you when he was like off his meds or something, and now he's like back.
But now, if he is the duty water guy owes me a favor.
Yeah, you might say he owes you too, considering that he duty watered your apartment and you did him a favor.
Well, he
might owe you.
He owes me a new doormat.
Yeah, for sure.
Which we had to throw away for obvious reasons, and now he owes me a favor.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's the update to the Duty Water debacle.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have some more. We'll have to.
I got
you'll
so many
definitely have to
texts
keep
about
us,
the Duty Water story of like it was just emojis of like
Yeah.
the duty and then like the water droplets.
I think we were actually did we or not? Am I correct that we were recording an earlier episode and you got a text mid podcast from Dr. Jesse Shafson, your dentist, that just said "Duty Water"? Like he
Yes.
was listening to the previous one. While we were
previous
recording.
podcast.
Yeah.
He's an avid listener. Dr.
Yeah.
Jesse Shafson,
That's
Northeast
right.
Philadelphia.
That's why- that's a-
progressive dentistry.
That's a little bit why I'm like, I hope people aren't like getting cavities filled and like just being forced to listen to this Duty Water.
People are laughing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's what you've been busy with. So
that's it.
I have nothing that.
I'm
could
a
even,
detective.
I have nothing that. Could
I'm a
compete
duty
with that.
detective.
You are the duty detective.
Yeah.
Should we welcome our guest?
Yeah,
you've
you've
heard
heard her
her
giggling.
infectious laugh to this point. She's very, very funny. One of the funniest people I've ever met and hung out with. My coworker at Late Night with Seth Meyers, and a great improviser, performer, writer, everything. Amber Ruffin, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I know that this is our week off, and I know that you usually don't like to leave the apartment, and so I appreciate that you took time out to be with us and to come and hang out.
It's great. I like to leave the house.
I know. Well, you do go on these like weird, unplanned road trips with your husband often, right? Is that
Best
true?
thing a human being can do.
Yeah.
You rent a car, and you just go.
Yeah.
You rent a car, you got 4 days. You just get gone.
Now, this is the opposite because I do love a good road trip, but I am like a big planner. I like to, I sort of like map out each step, and you guys don't.
You guys just Thelma and Louise it.
You totally don't.
We go up or down. That's it.
That's
All you
amazing.
know is up or
We're
down.
going up or down.
Give me the last one that you did.
The last time we went down.
Okay. That was all you knew in advance. We're going down.
We're going down. We got all the way to Savannah,
Yeah.
and then
Did
came
you
back.
stop anywhere on the
We
way in?
stopped everywhere.
But you would just see signs for things that look good and stop there.
Yes. Now, what we used to do that I loved was I would be just steady on Airbnb looking for just like.
I was going to say,
the
how does
cutest,
lodging work with
funniest-
this?
Well, we do choice hotels, and with every third night, you get a free night.
This podcast is brought to you by Choice Hotels,
We're just
where
so
every
many
third night
sponsors.
you get a free.
So, I mean, but you're going to these cities not really knowing anything about them or
No.
what's there.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's the best.
There was one where you were, I mean, we should preface this by saying you're a huge Hamilton fan.
Yes.
You're a Hamiltoniac.
Yeah.
And how many times have you seen it?
2.
Two, and you've listened to the music. You listen to the music a lot, and so. But there was one where you took a picture of something that looked like it was related to Hamilton. And can you tell the story? Because my understanding of it was, I remember seeing it on social media and thinking like, "Oh, Amber's doing like a Hamilton, tour," but it ended up not being. Can you tell me
Absolutely not.
what was the story? So
It's because you're in this part of the country. Everything is named after something that was mentioned in the musical.
So this was in
Hamilton.
Savannah.
This was
in Savannah.
Yeah,
And
this
where
was
were
like
you? You were in
Lafayette Square.
Lafayette Square.
And then it was like, then all the way back it was Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
And it was just things
Right.
that had
You
been
live it- it's
mentioned
the East
in this
Coast.
house.
But it
That's
wasn't
just
the Lafayette
all- yeah.
Square from Hamilton. It was
Right.
just a sign
Well,
that, yeah.
Jamie and I were in Philly a couple of weekends ago, and we stopped so she could take a picture of the Hamilton Street sign for Hamilton Street.
Yeah. People were
Like
doing
that's
that.
how people are so into Hamilton,
Not-
especially my fiance and her sister.
Not to bring up a downer, but I saw a couple people posting the signs, pictures of, like Prince Street when Prince died.
Well, now,
And I'm just like, I think we all know it's not named after Prince. Like, you're not fooling anybody. Think like, oh, you went to the place where he, but
Did anything.
yeah, no, he never, yeah. But so you go on these random, like, and then what else did you do when you were in Savannah? Like, not knowing anything about the town in advance.
Oh, my husband and I are like 69 as far as like hobby years.
Yeah.
In hobby years, we're like puzzles.
Hobbit or hobby?
Hobby. We like to leave the house and hold hands and then just go on walks.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about, whoa, what
Yeah.
I'm excited to do during the week is I'm going to put on my comfortable sneakers and hold hands with my husband. We're going to go for a walk. Woo! We are old.
But like, let's say you go to Savannah, you're going to go for a walk. Do you aim for like a neighborhood that is like the cool part of Savannah, or are you literally like residential neighborhoods? Like,
we are in the rental car, so we'll drive around, and if we've seen that we are in a cool neighborhood, then we'll park.
Oh, okay. So you're aiming for cool neighborhoods.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
There are no rules.
And you also had, this is going to piss him off because we're both from outside Philly, but there was a cheesesteak incident.
Oh, jeez.
That,
bring
this
it.
is, so.
I need to hear this.
So we've talked about this before. Lunch and food is the most important thing to Andrew. And so he does a lot of research into his food. So
we're the opposite.
Okay. So tell us what happened when you went to Philly.
Well, first off, I'm the worst eater there has ever been.
Yeah.
No one eats worse than I do.
You don't?
I don't like anything.
You don't like.
I eat food so that I don't die.
And yet you eat the food that is not. It's not like you eat healthy. You're pretty childlike.
Right. And bad food is the food you can eat the least of. It takes a lot of vegetables to continue to live, but it only takes one cheeseburger.
That's basically how I live my life.
Right.
Yeah.
We went to Philadelphia. We're like, oh yeah, you know what's in Philadelphia? Philly cheesesteaks.
Right.
P.S. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. My husband is from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
So he's super
We'll talk
doesn't
about
know.
that.
So we're like, oh, look, this is a place that has Philly cheesesteaks. I couldn't tell you what it was, but I know it wasn't the place to go.
Oh,
you didn't. You came back not knowing the name of the place that you would eat.
There are so many.
Yeah.
It was.
This hurts my heart.
And it was a thing in the big, public, the big downtown market that's inside in that giant warehouse.
Reading
thing.
Terminal Market?
Sure.
She doesn't know.
Yeah.
She
No,
doesn't
but was
know.
it a lot of food installations?
Yeah.
Were there
It was
Amish
just
people?
Yes.
Yes, so it's Reading Terminal Market. So you probably got a good cheesesteak because there's some good places in there. Delisandro's and
She probably
Cheesesteak Town.
Yeah, Cheesesteak Town. But what did you say when you came back? I'm sorry to make you repeat all of
What
my
did I
favorite
say?
stories.
I said,
how was the cheesesteak? And you said it was fine.
Oh, I said it wasn't as good as Philly's best
In Chicago.
in Chicago.
Oh,
that's like a stab.
it's like a chain,
Yeah.
right? It's like a chain
It's a chain.
cheesesteak
It's
place,
everywhere.
and it's
It's
your
in LA.
favorite.
It was pretty good. It was no
my
Jersey
favorite.
Mike's.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you're claiming that the best cheesesteak you've ever had was still in Chicago
It
at like
tastes
a.
so good. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's so good.
I mean, there is something to be said for that, nostalgia, sort of I still have a lot of positive feelings toward a terrible, Wendy's chicken sandwich I ate as a kid or something, but that's sort of how you feel all the time. You don't really do you have an appreciation for highbrow food, or are you only
absolutely
lowbrow?
not.
Yeah.
I will eat normal food now that I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I'll eat salads and shit. But I don't like it.
Right? Just like chicken fingers is
I mean, no, I really will. I'll eat. Nowadays, if you put a thing in a salad, I'll eat it.
Got it.
I'm a very childish eater.
Yeah.
I've gotten better because I became an adult, but I'm very I could live off Franks and beans and fish sticks and
Franks and beans.
yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not to bring him into it, but your husband is obsessed with Hale and Hearty soup, isn't he? Does he still? For a while, he was eating Hale and Hearty soup every day.
He loved Hale and Hearty soup.
And
I mean, if you look at what they have in Holland and what we have here, it's just fucking more than one kind of soup.
Oh yeah,
Jesus
That's amazing,
Christ.
mind blowing.
They don't have restaurants where they have more than one kind of soup in Holland.
I mean, they have two, and they're both off. That's not true. Their soup is the bomb.
Yeah.
But they don't have it's not
Yeah.
fresh and fun and a huge variety of
Andrew-
spoiled in
He's the only person I know, I swear to God, because he works from home. He does not have. He's the only person I know who doesn't have an office job who eats Hale and Hearty soup on a regular basis.
Yeah, you have no reason to as a
No, there's
That's an
no
interesting
reason to. He also, by the way, you're our second Am I correct? She's our second guest with a Dutch husband.
Yeah.
Because we had Michelle.
Oh, you had Michelle Patel.
You knew exactly who it was. I didn't even have to tell you.
Yeah, they
who
go to
was.
a support group together.
The Dutch husbands support group. Yeah. Because I mean, that's like pretty rare. I mean, it's not that rare. There's millions of Dutch people, and lots of them are married people.
I think it's
but like,
rare.
it's so funny. I don't know what it is.
Have you guys commiserated about the intersection of
once at an audition in LA 50 million years ago?
Mm-hmm.
But we keep threatening to hang out. We have to.
I feel like you two would have the best time roasting your Dutch husbands.
It was an audition. Someone
for a Dutch boy paint commercial.
It was. We need black women who know a little bit of Dutch, and you were the only two people.
My Dutch is pretty good.
Yeah, no, I know. Probably, yeah. I'm trying.
Do you go?
You also, well, oh, go ahead. No,
I was just going to say, are you on like a regular visitor to Holland?
No, I haven't been back since I left.
She lived there,
but I lived there for 2 years and then 3 years.
I think your Dutch would probably be better than Michelle's.
Did you do the Boom Chicago thing?
I did.
Got it. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
So how was that?
It was the best. It was the absolute best.
I hear it's just the greatest. It's like 3 more years of college.
It's the partiest party there's ever
I
been.
saw it. I don't remember. Is it improv or sketch? It's
both. I would say it's 70% short form improv games.
Yeah.
30% sketches.
I saw it when I was in Amsterdam. I got to be honest, I was not really in a frame of mind where I remember much about it.
That probably happens a lot.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Yeah, not a lot of people remember their Boom Chicago. No, that was. What year did you do it? I was not when I was. I've done this math with you before.
2003 to 2004.
Yeah,
and then I did it again 2008 to 2011.
Wow, you lived there twice?
I lived there twice.
Wow.
Did you go right from Nebraska to Amsterdam, or were you living
Nebraska to Chicago?
To Chicago, and then
Chicago.
So I was going to say, Nebraska to Amsterdam, I think would be
Chicago to Amsterdam was still pretty something.
Still pretty something,
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No,
I'm interested about living in Amsterdam because I've been there a couple times, and I always feel like it's kind of the same vibe I get in Vegas, but different in that I always feel like 48 hours and you got to get out. I always feel like something's going to happen to me if but you've lived there. Like you've actually been in Amsterdam on like Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Like, what's that like when the tourists sort of leave and it's just people that live there?
The tourists never leave.
Oh God.
But it, especially at Boom Chicago, because we do shows.
You're doing
for them
shows.
A lot.
Yeah.
But the Dutch people are the same people who were like, you know what? If you want to get high, who cares? And like, if you want to find a prostitute, who cares? They're just the chillest, most reasonable human beings on the planet.
So
they don't have like an antagonistic relationship with the tourists, is what you're saying?
No, they're fine with it. I mean, they will be like, you stupid tourists, because the bike paths look like sidewalks.
Yeah,
and the sidewalks don't look like sidewalks. I would
it's a
call
good Seinfeld bit.
I'd call that a Dutch fuck up, but they really don't like it.
Have you seen these sidewalks?
You've lived in so many places, I can't even keep track. So you grew up in Nebraska.
I grew up in Omaha, then I moved to Chicago because I was like, I'm going to be an improviser forever. And
How did you know growing up in Omaha that you wanted to be an improviser?
There was an improv group there.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Were you in it? Or no, you just saw it?
Spot Theater? No, I was in it.
Yeah.
And we had a great time.
Yeah.
And then,
about as good a time as you can have in Omaha.
Which is, hey, Omaha's what you make of it. We went to Chicago for the Chicago Improv Festival. Yeah. And that's
where you're like, I got to move here.
Yeah, Sharna Halpern was like, the lady who runs I.O. was like, you need to move here. You're going to get a job and be an improviser. I was like, great. I'll move here.
Yeah.
That's great.
So you moved to Chicago.
I moved to Chicago. I took classes at I.O. I interned at I.O.
She was eating at Pizzeria Uno every night.
If it's the original one, then that's worth something, I guess.
I went to Pizzeria Uno the other day. I super love
now
it.
Called Uno Chicago Grill, right?
Yeah.
But no, the real one would be if she was in Chicago but eating at Sbarro. right?
Well, it's the episode of The Office where Michael Scott is
Yeah,
like,
the
I
best
know this
pizza,
great pizza at Sbarro.
Because Pizzeria Uno is legitimately, at least it started in Chicago. It's
Right.
from Chicago.
It has some legitimacy.
Great.
Oh my God, this is so funny. So so you're living in Chicago, eating thin crust pizza.
I was living in Chicago. And then I auditioned for Boom Chicago, and I got Boom. So then I went to Amsterdam for 2 years.
Had you ever been there before you moved there?
I had never left the country.
Wow.
I hadn't been anywhere. And then I moved to Amsterdam. I thought I was going to die. It was so fucking terrifying. But then you're also like having the best time a human being
Right.
can have. So it was everything all at once. And I had lived in Chicago for a year. Not even. I lived in Chicago for 10 months maybe.
Wow.
And then I got Boom Chicago, and I was 23, and it was just a lot.
Is that when you met your husband?
No, I didn't meet my husband in Amsterdam at all. I met my husband in 2010.
Yeah.
Here.
So much later.
In New York,
Huh.
while we were on tour from Boom Chicago in New York. He was on vacation in New York.
And he's like,
we just
I
so
could see
happened
this
to make eye
anytime
contact.
in Amsterdam, but I'm in America. I'm going to see.
He was not seeing Boom Chicago.
Oh, okay.
He was just walking down the street, and I was outside.
What are the chances?
What are the chances is what I'm saying.
I never knew
chances are
this. So
zero.
wait, you're outside, you're walking down the street, and what happened?
I'm outside. I'm smoking because I used to smoke. It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm outside smoking, and he's walking down the street. The end.
And you just start talking? You strike
Yeah.
up a
It's like
conversation?
the beginning of When Harry Met Sally.
And how long into the conversation did you figure out that you were visiting from Amsterdam and that you were both visiting from Amsterdam? Or no, you were not living in Amsterdam.
I was living in Amsterdam.
How
at that
long
time,
into the
and he was
conversation did you
visiting
find
from
out you're
Amsterdam.
both visiting?
I said, I don't live here. He asked me something about New York. I said, I don't live here. I'm visiting from Amsterdam. And he said, oh, really? What part? And I said, well, Amsterdam's kind of a circle. It doesn't really work that way. I don't know the name of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
And that's why I said that. And he
It's like
goes,
asking you which
because I live in
cheesesteak
the
place
West.
you went to in Philly.
Hey!
I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep harping on it.
That's amazing.
But it makes you so mad.
We take it very seriously.
It really does make me mad. I'm taking it very personally. Yeah. Okay, so that's so funny. And then you must have known right away he had a Dutch accent. You must have known.
No, his accent's not that strong.
Does he have a pronounceable name?
Jan,
Got it.
Yeah.
but his
pretty
last
easy.
name is very difficult.
Yeah,
to
very
say.
long in Dutch.
I didn't take it because I couldn't say it.
Are there a lot of J's in it?
Yeah, there is a J in there.
So this was during your second stint. So you moved from Nebraska to Chicago to Amsterdam, and then you're in Amsterdam 2 years, and then what happens?
Then I call. Okay, so while I'm in Amsterdam, the first time I fly back to Chicago to visit or something, and I do the Second City set after the main stage show, and it just so happens to be the night that Martin Short is there. So Martin Short is there, and therefore all of the head people at Second City are there, hoping that he'll do the set so they can watch him and have a moment. But he decides not to do the set. So I get to do the set. And it was like Slumdog Millionaire because all of the people were there who make decisions. And every suggestion that was shouted out was something I just so happened to know everything about. It was like gymnastics and sign language. It was just
Off-brand cheesesteaks.
Yeah. It was everything I know everything about. So then, cut to a year later, I was ready to leave Boom, and I called Second City, and I was like, will you give me a job, even though you don't really know who I am? And they were like, we do know who you are, because we saw you in that set.
Yeah.
So then they gave me Second City, Denver. So I moved from Amsterdam to Denver.
Right. I knew you lived in Denver. I remember that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and then you're in Denver for how long?
We did Second City, Denver for a year.
And having never been to Denver or having maybe visited?
Denver, I really did wrong. Like, I lived a lot of places and I visited a lot of places, but Denver, I was like, I don't care. I mean, it was great. It's a great place,
Yeah.
but I am not, like, I don't want to climb a mountain.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put my toes in a stream. I don't want to be
These are the
fucking
things
hiking
you
with
do
your
there.
dog. I'm not doing that.
No, you're not doing that.
I do not care for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so Denver was a bad experience, but now you probably go back.
great.
It was fine, but you probably would do it differently if you went back. So you would go back, and so then Denver, you go back to Chicago?
Then I got Second City Main Stage from Denver. So then I moved to Chicago and did Main Stage for 2 years.
Wow. And then back to Amsterdam?
Then I went back to Amsterdam and did Boom Chicago.
Because your
for 3
husband
years.
was there.
Nope, I hadn't met him yet.
Hadn't met him yet.
It's incredible. It's really like listening to an athlete. Like, I got traded here.
I know, right? Yeah.
Signed here as a free agent.
Yeah.
And then I went back to my original team who drafted me.
It's quite the itinerant lifestyle. It makes me feel like I moved from New York to LA and back to New York, and it makes me feel like I've done nothing.
Even worse than that, I hear you talking about all this, and I'm just now like 15 years into living in New York, starting to have regrets of like, man, I probably should have lived somewhere else.
Yeah.
At some point. Like, I should have done LA or...
But you know what? Every place was as good as the job was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only
the
as
job
good
made
as,
the place.
Yeah,
for sure.
By the way, we should mention Amber also did live in LA.
I did.
We mentioned LA. We forgot somewhere in there.
You're a journeyman.
Somewhere in there, you lived in LA. That was after. Was that between the last?
That was
Amsterdam?
the last place.
That was
I
the
lived.
last place before New York.
Before New York.
Wow. Yeah, that's so many different places. I can't even. So and to say you have a favorite place would be inaccurate because it's more just like it's a favorite job or a favorite time of your life is really the.
I am a little crazy work dog. Only now do I like to leave the house and go do things. But before I'm like, what shows can I do?
Is this your first office job?
Yes. I have never had to behave like this in my entire life. It is very strange. You wake up early. You are not loud. You're a normal person. You look at a computer all day.
You wear
It's
slacks?
very difficult. Sometimes I will wear some slacks.
Yeah,
I've seen Amber. But you're, I mean, and like, you're a great person to have in an office, which is like, and we all feel that. I mean, because like, you're just that person who is you're just a positive person.
Because I'm shocked I'm there every fucking day. I can't believe it.
Yeah. And I think also comedy writers tend to be negative people or depressing people. And Amber is, not to say that you're like, you don't have a dark side, but you're in general, you're a pretty positive, pretty optimistic person and a pretty fun person to have around. And so you're you. Good.
I like most stuff.
Yeah, she likes
unless it's food. If you can eat it, I don't care for it.
It's so interesting.
But and I think it probably helps having come from having never worked in an office.
Yeah, I've never had to work.
Although some people, I'm guessing, who have never worked in an office before probably would show up and not really know how to act, and that's not.
Well, that happens a lot, I think. In all of these cities, did you have that sort of spirit of just get in a car and go, like during free time? Like, would you explore surrounding Denver, Rotterdam,
not.
Holland, those kind of things?
No, but in
you just
Amsterdam,
wanted to mention that you knew another Dutch city.
That's all I got.
Yeah,
fantastic city, by the way.
Rotterdam was pretty cool. And in Rotterdam, you know how there's a walk sign and the walk sign is a man and the stop sign is a hand? In Rotterdam, the walk sign is a girl with a ponytail.
So progressive.
First time I'd ever seen that in my entire life. I was shocked.
They also have a monorail in Rotterdam.
Monorail? Do they?
I think so.
Uh-oh.
That's what I remember.
A tram.
Tram.
Yes.
Yeah, monorail.
Well,
It's a very modern city because it was completely obliterated in the war. So it's been modernly rebuilt.
You were in Rotterdam?
Yeah.
What for?
When I was traveling.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We went to a concert in Rotterdam.
Who'd you see?
Some band. Nobody of note.
Well known. Yeah.
But I remember loving the city. I got a great knit hat there.
Oof. That's the touristiest thing anyone's ever
But
done.
so,
You guys don't get along. I like this. This is the first time on the podcast that we've had like tension, and it's very exciting for me.
loved Rotterdam.
You don't like her views on cheesesteaks.
Cheesesteaks.
She doesn't like your views on.
knit hats.
This is fun. I like this. Yeah.
But were you like get in a car and go?
No, but in Amsterdam, we went on tour everywhere. So we went
Got it. So you saw everything.
everywhere.
All over
everywhere
Europe?
in Europe. We went to China. We went to Dubai. We went everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah. So I never really, and when I grew up in Omaha, I was never like, I'm going to see the world or I'm going to go and move. I didn't really care for. I mean,
maybe we'll go to Lincoln.
Maybe we'll get to Lincoln and go to the drag bar called the Cube.
So how long have you been in New York now?
2 years.
Are you getting restless?
No.
What neighborhood do you live in?
I live in
Midtown Manhattan.
I walk to work, baby.
Yeah.
So like Midtown West?
Yeah.
That's a good area.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's an underrated area.
I mean,
Yeah.
They're really building it up.
Are they?
Yeah, I mean they're building the Hudson Yards and
Oh yeah.
give me and your husband is a painter.
My husband is a painter.
And so he's home all day, every day, painting and eating soup while you're
Painting
at work.
and eating soup, yeah.
And so like, is it different? Like when you're home, well, how is his life different?
I don't think his life is different when I'm home. You mean on these hiatus weeks?
Yeah. Does he still paint all day? Or?
No, because I will. Well, yeah.
you're like,
He'll paint
come here,
during the day.
grab my hand and let's go walk.
Then I want to hold hands and go for a walk. And we do. I mean, we did it 3 times every day, or 3 times this week. And you wake up. I just wake up and I cannot wait to get outside.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hold hands and go outside and walk in the heat.
Yeah,
luckily
yeah. This is it's so sweet. You have such a sweet romance where you just hold hands and walk around.
Like a Sayals
That's all I
commercial.
wanted.
In separate bathtubs.
Yeah, do you go in outdoor bathtubs?
Yeah.
Like
There was
on
one
your
I
lawn?
would.
You would take
Yeah.
a bath on your lawn?
I would.
All right. Do you kayak?
Yeah.
We did.
You have
last
kayaked.
time on
You
one
can
of our
kayak
trips,
in the river.
we
Wait, you
kayaked.
kayaked? Where?
We were in the car just driving around and saw like crazy raft trips. Oh, I guess it wasn't a kayak. It was a crazy raft. Oh
Yeah.
no, it was a kayak. We did both. And
Where?
then we were like, I don't know. Could have been anywhere. Philadelphia or something.
It wasn't Philadelphia. You did not kayak.
She raft down the
kayaked
I'm
Schuylkill.
sorry,
Down
I
the
meant
Schuylkill.
Pennsylvania, yeah.
Pennsylvania.
I wonder if she went to Jerry's Three
River Canoe.
Yeah, that's where we used to go at summer camp.
All of our
Used to
former
go on.
camp people who are listening just
Yeah, they just
got very excited.
creamed their pants. The Jerry's Three River Canoe mention.
Shout out to Jerry's Three River Canoe.
Yeah, the bathrooms that smelled like horse piss.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really bad.
So many stories.
Yeah.
That horse knew how to use the bathroom.
Yeah, it was very exciting. Yeah. So you're living life like riding horseback. So like a typical day off. You're going. Come on, let's go.
Yes. Usually we wake up and then we go. But this hiatus, and like the longer I'm here, the more things I pick up. Like this week, every day, I wake up and then for 2 hours I'm writing a musical.
Yeah.
I'm always doing at least one musical. Right now I have one musical up at this place called Sacred Fools, which is a theater in LA. This place has a show called Serial Killers where 5 shows enter and 3 shows leave. So like you put up 10 minutes of your show every Saturday until you lose. And now we're on week 5 of this musical called Bigfoot. It was just like a happy musical about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, we agreed to do another musical in a month. So while we're writing this musical that's continuing to survive in this competition in the Thunderdome, in the Theater Thunderdome.
The musical Thunderdome?
Now we're also writing a second
When
one.
you
at
say
the
we,
same
who
time.
is we?
We is me and my friend Lauren Van Kuren.
Who you did the King of Kong? That was so funny. I saw that a couple summers ago when you guys did it here in New York. It was what was it called? King of Kong.
It was called King of Kong the musical, maybe.
King of Kong the musical, and it was a that documentary, The King of Kong, about the guy who set the Donkey Kong record.
I've read the synopsis.
They did a musical version of that, but am I correct? It was like without anyone's
with
permission.
no one's permission.
They just basically told the story of that documentary and musical, and it was so. And you guys, the two of you played all the parts.
Right.
It was so funny.
Oh, good. Thank you.
It was part of the Fringe Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did that.
So
and
you guys
then
are working-
what you might not know is we did that. they're in that movie. There's like a really good guy named Steve Wiebe, and then there's a really bad guy named Billy Mitchell, and that's why it was so successful, because the bad guy was so evil and the good guy was so good. So I played Billy Mitchell. We've been doing this musical all over.
Yeah.
And Billy Mitchell found us on Facebook and asked us. Billy Mitchell asked Walter Day, who was the guy he kind of shits on in the movie, to give us his phone number so we could call him. We call Billy Mitchell, the evil guy of the movie. And he puts us on hold so that he can go get himself. So evil.
Oh, really?
It's just like,
please hold for Mr. Mitchell. Like one of these situations, like he pretended he would to be his own secretary, like you would in a movie.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, you behave.
And so he called you just to tell you what?
He called us to invite us to do the show when they do Comic-Cons.
So are you going to do it?
Sure.
Yeah. Wow. So you're going
to
to put on the... So he does Comic-Con basically for money.
Yeah, I guess so.
And you're going to do the show at Comic-Con. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So you got a lot of stuff going on.
It's mostly musical stuff. I'm also writing on a show called The Detroiters.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's on.
That's going to be on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about that.
You're making it sound like you're just out there, just holding hands, walking around, dicking around, just driving around the country. And you're a very busy person.
Skipping to my loo.
Yeah.
Down the lane.
Do you think? Were you always? I mean, obviously, you're on a different time schedule when you're like doing shows every night and working nights. But like, are you a harder worker now that you're like working during the day or awake during the day, or has it just shifted the time of it?
No, now I'm a harder worker because they didn't, when we wrote at Second City and at Boom Chicago, we didn't like sit down and write like we do at work.
Yeah.
You improvised it and then, you wrote down what you remembered,
Yeah.
But this, now that I have learned how to sit down and really
You've taken the habits that you've learned and apply them to other things.
Now I'm doing this at home.
Wow. And so you're waking up in the morning and writing even when you're
get it
off
out.
work. Yeah. I found that like waking up early in the morning, it's such a antithetical thing, especially if you started as a performer, whether it's stand-up or improv or whatever. Like I found that as soon as I started waking up in the morning, and honestly as soon as I started drinking coffee, that was like a light switch went on for me where I became a much harder worker. Like, It's just not even, it's hard because it's like, if you're out doing a show until like midnight or 1 a.m., like who wants to like wake up at like, 7:30 or 8 o'clock and like read what's going on in the world and then write.
Hard.
But I think it's good for work habits. But I mean, different things probably work for different people. There's probably some people that like stay up and write all night and do great work, but
when did you wake up in Amsterdam? I feel like that's like a 4 p.m. wake up. Wake up city.
Yeah, we would have rehearsal at noon every day.
Got it.
Yeah.
Not every day, but when we had rehearsal. But lots of times we would have parties in the theater. Mm-hmm. And then we would just sleep upstairs in the office. And then at noon we would come down and rehearse.
It's like a commune.
Just
like on a couch?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're just crazy bad kids.
Yeah. But that was the time when you were 23. When you went back.
When I went back,
you weren't.
You're a little more grown ass.
Was a
on the
little
couch.
bit better, but I would still sleep there. I'd sleep there tomorrow.
Oh my God! That's
but
so
it's
funny.
so good to be able to be like, I can stay at this party until I can't move.
Yeah,
I can party and dance as hard as I
and be the last one here. And,
yeah.
And
I can shut shit down, and we would shut it down all the time.
Do you still feel that way? I mean, I don't know if it's because I'm in my 30s or because I have a kid, but I just feel like I don't know. It's so funny because we can cut this out if you want, but we have your bachelor party coming up later this summer, and I was looking forward to it, but also dreading it because I'm looking forward to getting away for a few days. I think it's gonna be really fun. Obviously, it's it's gonna be a lot of drinking and eating and late nights. A lot of eating. You're a big yeah, but also I'm just like, what if I just can't? What if I can't hang? Tell you. What if I'm like, like 9 or 10 at night? I'm just like, I'm done. I'm exhausted.
Our mutual friend, Dave Kimowitz, who runs The Stand here in New York, went to his bachelor party. It was at Foxwoods, in Connecticut. And like his friend Lyle who has 2 kids, and I think the second kid was like a newborn. Literally arrived at like 7 p.m. on Friday.
Yeah.
And we were all like, there was a Friday night plan, and he was just like, I'm sleeping, and he like closed the blinds, shut the door, and he slept until sometime because it was his like only time.
And then he was caught up.
And then he was like, he just needed that to be able to hang out all of Saturday and some of Sunday.
Okay, he figured out a way to make it work. Yeah, good.
But it's going to be Austin.
All
There's going to be a lot of time where we're just sitting, drinking, and
I'm gonna have to drink a lot of coffee, I think.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine.
I can't drink like I don't know about you. I can't drink like I used to.
Well,
I have one
it
or two,
immediately
and
makes
I'm
you tired.
I have one or two, and I'm just
Bachelor parties at this age become like, I need a nap, and I can actually go nap.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah,
You got to push through to that 4th drink. That's where you're awake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get to the 4th.
No,
Make you
that is
sleepy.
true. Someone said to
push
me,
through.
you know what's funny is like, obviously like wine makes me pass out, I guess, but like someone said to me like that whiskey or whatever, like, or liquor, like made them stay awake longer, and I was like, that's not true, that makes you drunk. And then one time I was at a party and I had like some wine or something, and I was just feeling drowsy, and then I switched to like liquor, and I was like, oh, now we're like now I'm more drunk, but I'm also more awake. It was like something about it was, I don't know why.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
tequila.
Well,
That's tequila for you.
Yeah. Except it's bad.
No.
The last time I drank a lot of tequila, I said some amazing shit at a work party. So
boy.
now if I leave the house, then I don't
You have a
drink
rule
tequila.
about only tequila. Yeah.
Well, then
Only
again,
tequila in my house.
that's the transition
Yeah.
from not having an office job to having an office job.
Ew.
Is office party decorum.
yeah.
Yes. At
I
work,
know.
I have I have tequila, or I have vodka at work
Yeah.
it.
And Red Bull.
and Red Bull.
Yeah. There. You know what's funny though? I bet if you went back to like all the improv and sketch parties you went to, there were probably some people that could have used some decorum. Like there were probably some people that if they had behaved themselves more like they would at an office party, probably would be better off today. You know what I mean? Like they would. They probably did themselves some damage. They probably.
Yeah. What are your evenings? If you have the whole day off and you're with your husband, are you cooking? Are you like to eat, or are you going out to or are you walking around and just picking a place?
Right. Lots of times we'll walk around and pick a place, especially with the sunshine. You
Yeah.
have to go to a place where you can eat outside in the
Yes.
sunshine.
Well, luckily you have like 9th Avenue. You can walk, and there's a million.
Yes, I do. And it never
Million
gets
restaurants.
old. My husband would love to be anywhere else, but I can't. I got to walk up and down 9th Avenue. It's so beautiful to me.
You have the West Side Highway.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Yeah. It strikes
You have
me
the Intrepid. You can go there.
that one of the things one of the reasons we started this was like the idea of like people not really being that busy but saying they're so busy and claiming they're busy. And Amber is almost like the opposite, where it's like she actually is pretty busy, but did you see? Yeah, who's calling? Yeah, she actually is busy, but she makes it sound like her life is just like a breeze, like a fun thing. But you're getting shit done. You're out there working hard.
If you think about it, I guess so. Because when you said a minute ago, what do you do in the evenings? I go, well, I do a second round of work.
Yeah.
I wake up, I work.
Right.
Then I dick around all day. Then when I get home, then I work another
Then you're doing
2
more
hours.
work.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, working hard.
That's a good work ethic.
I
I have like a 7 o'clock cutoff. I'm,
Really?
like, not doing anything.
I can, you know what it is? It's more like I don't usually do work at night, but it is sometimes fun to have like dinner and a drink, and then like if somebody like I need to do something at like 9 or 10, like it's nice to have after like a chill time of like home if you're at home anyway.
If
to
I'm
sort of,
really
like, get
excited
some
about
stuff
something
done.
I'm working
Yeah.
on, I will anytime.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just relaxing actually it's a weird thing, but to do work after you've had a drink or two.
It really
Oh, yeah.
is.
Like just it makes it more fun. Yeah. It's
Well,
kinda
that's the
nice.
whole like beers at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you should we do the blow off?
Let's get to the blow off.
Yeah. Can you talk to us about a time
Recently,
this is later we're going to edit in the blow off. Can you talk to us about a time recently when you told somebody you were too busy to do something and whether you were telling the truth or not. Is that an accurate description of the blow-off?
Yeah.
The segment?
Somebody says, "Oh, Amber, let's go. Let's hang out." I can't.
Right. I usually, when someone asks me to do something, I say yes, and I just try to make it fit. But recently, what was it? My friend asked me to hang out, and I said no, but I could have hung out. But I didn't want to hang out because I was having some work done in my mouth. Oh, my teeth are the worst, and I'm constantly at the dentist.
Yeah.
But the dentist gave me hydrocodone, that crazy, the crazy fun drug, and I knew I was going to take it. And even though it was going to be hours later, I would have been fine. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit down and I'm going to enjoy this crazy drug. I'm going to put my feet up and not do a thing.
That's a completely valid reason for blowing someone off if you have, you're going to have a super fun night on hydrocodone.
What did you actually say to your friend, though?
I said I'm going to have just come from the dentist, which was true. But I could have gone out. But I didn't.
Yeah.
I put my feet up and I partied.
Parties. But so yeah, what you did was you told a technical truth.
I told a technical truth.
Yeah, to blow her off. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
That works.
That's what it's all about.
That was like me at jury duty that time. Yeah. So do you got any of that hydrocodone left?
I do.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have gave it to me.
No.
I told him I had some left from last time. Then he gave me a whole nother prescription.
He's out here writing prescriptions.
Yeah.
If in a year I'm a crazy person, this is the beginning of it.
We should say this is not your dentist.
Well, if you're in Philly, Progressive Dentistry, Dr. Jesse Jackson.
This is a different, sketchier dentist.
Northeast Philadelphia.
Yeah. Cool. I guess we can wrap up in a minute here. Do you have anything you want to mention or promote or?
How can people find you?
I might be Amber M. Ruffin on
Twitter. I believe so. You're very funny.
Amber
You don't
Ruffin.
tweet too often, but when you do, it's very funny.
Thank you.
You'll tweet a lot. Like if what's like a live musical or something. You're very into like.
When The Wiz happened, I had a party.
Yeah. The Wiz was big one for you.
It was so fun.
It wasn't as fun as the original.
That's a lie. It was.
Oh boy,
Okay.
you guys hate each other. This is
No.
so much fun. Amber M.
I just didn't think it didn't capture the whimsical nature of it for me. I thought it was very produced for me. The original was
the talk we would have to have.
all right. Oh, you're the expert. I'm by no means.
2 hours.
I haven't seen either one, but I'm gonna side with Amber on this.
She's the expert. I don't blame you for seeing it.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful interpretation of The Wiz through the lens of 2016.
Got it.
That's
Where
what
there's
it
like
was.
cell phone jokes.
Yeah.
and-
Okay, so Amber M. Ruffin on Twitter. I double checked that. That's correct.
Give me one musical you'd like to see being made into one of these live NBC.
Oh, good question. Other than Hamilton, obviously, but it's
Hamilton would be dope, but we're a little
soon
too early for
Little
that.
too early.
I'm about to say the worst. Guys and
Susical the
Dolls.
musical.
Guys.
Susical the musical.
Susical.
Guys and Dolls, I think. It would just
Guys
be
and Dolls
the
is a classic. It'd be great.
prettiest. The ratings would be through the roof.
I think Little Shop of Horrors done right on like NBC or Fox would be dope.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
That's a soundtrack kids can get behind in 2016. I think.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounded good then. It sounds good now.
Seymour.
Oh boy, we found this is great. I feel like
Common ground.
We're ending
fist
on a bonding
bumping.
experience. I'm so happy because I liked the tension, but
At
I'm
Camp
also
Ramon the
I wouldn't want to
Poconos.
end it like
At
that.
Camp Ramon the Poconos, I was a Shoop Shoop girl in.
Were you?
I was a Shoop Shoop girl in Little Shop of Horrors.
You lived my dream.
Yeah.
I think my brother played Nathan Detroit in
Bop,
Guys and
shoot, bop.
Dolls. Yeah. Pretty sure.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay, so Amber's on Twitter, Amber M. Ruffin. She's writing several musicals. Look for her at what, Comic-Con? No. Well, do you have any performances coming up? Or that you're
We're
in?
doing King of Kong at the Austin Improv Festival.
Oh.
They're doing Bigfoot next year in Las Vegas,
Right.
at the Onyx Theater. They're doing it now at Sacred Fools. Serial Killers at
That's
Sacred
the theater
Fools is
owned by the
theater
rap group
to
Onyx,
see.
right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Slam.
That was where you did
Improv
King of Kong
Slam
there too, I remember.
Right. And watch Detroiters and Late Night with Seth Meyers.
There you
it.
go. Yeah. Andrew, anything on your end?
At Ange Gold on Twitter, ANGEGOLD.
At Matt Goldich, MATTGOLDICH. Thank you so much to everybody for listening. Thanks to Alex and everyone at Showbiz Studios, the whole team at Showbiz Studios
squad.
on Twitter. Yeah, and did we mention up top, Alex, to listen to all the other podcasts? Okay, so
Listen to the family podcast here at the Showbiz Studios at Showbiz Studios on Twitter.
Thank you, and stay busy, everybody.
Stay busy.
When they call, I ain't answering. They only get my voicemail because I'm busy. Whenever I go with her, say I'm busy. And I'm gonna hit you later because I'm busy. Busy with her.